My name is Galen Gilliland. I play Mrs. Heron, Ms. Norbury, and Mrs. George. Most of my actual warm-up happens outside of the building. I'll try to get to the gym, I'll do some PT exercises. I like to say hello to management, stage management, company management, see who's around the building, just kind of be casual. I just generally feel myself in the space. We are in different theaters almost weekly. It's just nice to settle into this space. And so I think that's part of my prep, is gauging how people are that day, because the show itself is very hectic, it's very fast moving, and I want to sort of gear up to that. I'll get going on my prep as far as pin curls, makeup, which I've gotten down to under half hour. I set up all of my pictures so I remind myself who my family is and who my friends are. Mariah and I are lucky enough to live together here in Chicago for 5 weeks, which is awesome. And she had a birthday here. She loves Pokemon, so we have all these Pokemon stickers that Megan, who plays Gretchen, bought for her. She has decided that she's going to choose a Pokemon for each character in the cast. And then this is Jigglypuff, who she said I'm also like. So I originally saw Mean Girls on Broadway very early in its run. I was doing SpongeBob SquarePants on Broadway, and I thought I gotta go see the show, it's right up my alley. And I saw Carrie Butler doing the role, and I thought, that's my role. I have to do this role. When the tour came up, I went in for it. I did my take on it, because I think that, I'm very different from Carrie Butler. I'm very different from Jen Simard. And I have to do my own version of it. When I was learning these roles, I had wanted to go and see Jen Simard do it, because I know how funny she is. But it had gotten a little late in the process, and I had started learning things, and then we were in rehearsal, and I was like, I can't go now. And I also stopped watching the movie when I was working on this material. I didn't want to have too many influences on the words that I was going to be saying, where I wasn't coming from just me. It was interesting. Mrs. George, although I thought would come to me very easily, has been more of a challenge than the other two. Mrs. Heron also, the work is done for me quite a bit with the look of the character. Whereas Miss Norbury, I kind of needed to settle down and do the sarcastic Galen that I do in front of my friends when I'm just hanging out in a calm atmosphere. Miss Norbury is actually my favorite one of all three of them, where I thought Mrs. George would be, because she's just a good time gal. I'm often remembering what kind of direction and what kind of tidbits of information Tina Fey told me in rehearsal. I did get a couple of little work sessions with her, which was such a dream, because it's Tina Fey. She's given me pearls of wisdom. I have to grab one prop from Danny Wade, who plays Katie, but we have this kind of pre-show ritual. Her boyfriend in life plays my husband, Mr. Heron, in the show, and we have to do this sort of funny thing where we have the Caltine bar that I give to her in the first scene on stage. He has to touch it and then pass it to me. So we always do this sort of funny pass off, where she gives it to him, he gives it to me. The best way that you can achieve a role or achieve a part or give your talent to an audience or a room that you're auditioning for is to authentically be you and bring you into your work. Do your own version of it. Don't try to copy somebody else's, because that's all you've got. Because if you're copying somebody, it doesn't look like it's you. And then do it how Galen does it. Do it how you would do it.